Listen, hey, everybody. Happy Saturday. Doing an impromptu live. I'm glad to see some of y'all out there. We happy to see y'all. When we do these Saturday shows, it's nice and a little laid back. Okay. Give opportunity because the backstage is not as packed for anybody who was like, oh, I think I want to come up and chat with them. I'm not sure. Saturday or Sunday is always a good time, to come on through. Raheem, I appreciate you. Hashtag don't cheat the diva. Okay. I am working on merch. Don't be holding me down to the date because I have so much things in the works that I'm trying to lock down. But I think I'm going to have to put one of those on a t-shirt. Don't cheat diva. Okay. Hit that like button as you come through. Happy Saturday. Over here in Jersey, when it's not just rain, it is like pouring down, raining. I do need to run errands. I go to the supermarket, this, that, and that, get some little stuff. But I ain't going out in the rain. Not right now. And no, you know what? We talked a little bit yesterday about people ordering stuff online. I do a mixture. Every now and then I will order stuff online. Now, you know what food place I like to order from online? Fresh Direct. They're a little pricey, but every time I order food from Fresh Direct, I will say this, no pun intended, it is fresh. And I like what I order is what I get, right? Hey, from Texas, weather is getting a little cooler, 96 degrees. Ooh, you're lucky. You know what? If I had to pick the seasons that I like. I like actually all the seasons. I really do. I don't mind. I like being in change of seasons. I like all the seasons. I like snow, but I just don't like when it snows because I don't like the weather. I don't like once the snow gets dirty. I don't like the ice and trying to drive in it. I don't like shoveling the snow, but I like to see the snow. So yeah, thank you, Savannah. Choo choo. Leah, I love the rain if I don't have to go out in it. I just don't like trying to go places and then I get wet and all kind of stuff was going on. Oh, you wish it was raining in Houston? I'm trying to think if I ever been to Houston. I'm not sure. And I'm actually in October, guys. I'm going to New Orleans for the first time ever. Never been, and I'm going. I like the fall too. I like the fall has the best colors. Yes, I like the fall. I like to see the change of the trees and all of that. Oh, we got 90 degrees in Forest City. Wow. Okay. Oh, LaDan, thank you for catching a live. All right. Hey, Sheila. Listen, I'm glad to see all y'all out there. We got a nice little Saturday afternoon live for you. Okay. You know what? I commend this person. Tamika Mallory. I don't know her. I meant to try to look up what she does. She's definitely a celebrity of some sort. And but I just want to say we're going to talk about it really quickly. It's a connection from yesterday's story. She reached out and said, you know what? She's ready to help Chrisean Rock. So she asked the people that know her and know Chrisean to connect them. God bless her for that. The village is stepping up and stepping in. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some messiness going on in these schools. There's a young man that has dreads, and he said he got kicked out of the school because of his dreads. Him and his mother are fighting back. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to also talk about a news anchor that, she's an activist. Oh, you know what, guys? It's starting to ring a bell in my head right now. Thank you guys for that. Okay, okay, that's where I heard the name before. Well, go ahead, Tamika. I'm proud of her. Okay, so she said definitely she will step in and help Chrisean Rock. There is a anchor, a news anchor. She's an older news anchor, and she said during the pandemic she went ahead and just let herself go gray. Well, she's claiming they fired her as a result of letting herself go gray. We're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about, don't not sure if this person was actually a teacher, but definitely a school employee mishandling a young autistic child, okay, and has since either quit or was fired. So we're going to get into these stories, okay. What did it say? Can you go on the panel with your picture? I'm a bit nervous. Yeah, you don't have to show your face. If you, especially if you're a regular here, you do not have to show your face. And sometimes you'll hear me when someone comes and they're what I call backstage, because y'all don't see them yet, but I see them. I will say to them, I'm sorry, I don't know you as a regular. Like that means I never seen them in the chat really. I never seen them around the YouTube town, and I have to be careful. And the reason why I have to be careful because there are some weirdos out there. It's been months now. It's been months now. But one time somebody came backstage and was exposing themselves. So sometimes what people will do, they will come backstage. You don't see them, you don't know them, then you let them up and they will expose themselves. We ain't got time for that over here, okay? So that's the only time I will say to somebody, you got to show me your face. And once I see your face, you can put your avatar, your picture back up, and then I'll let you up on the platform. So listen, everybody, it's Saturday afternoon, and I'm going to say we about to board this train. So y'all know what I need. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Saturday afternoon, trending topics, and we got some people on the platform waiting to get in, okay? And listen, guys, don't you can get the courage if you ever want to come up here, get the courage and come up. Listen, we all respect each other and love each other. But when we talk about a topic, we're going to stand our ground and try to make sure I fix my light in here, okay? So just be prepared to stand your ground and not get your feelings hurt. That's all. So everybody, I'm about to load this train because we got the people waiting to come up and talk about these topics. Hey, E.
Hey, Diva. Choo choo.
Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva. Hey, panel.
Hey, in my opinion. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Aunt Natty. How are you?
I'm fine. Hey,
Good, good.
guys.
Hey. So listen, guys, we're going to get right.
Finally, a day off work and I can catch a live.
Well, hey, I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you got a day off. I'm just trying to, I'm sorry, y'all. This lighting, I'm like, what is going on with my lighting today? We'll just have to leave it and we'll work through it. But you know what? First, I'm glad everybody told me that this individual, she's an activist. And I commend her. This is a second story, well, a follow-up story from yesterday, right? Okay, y'all, some of y'all got really nice weather out there. I ain't mad at y'all. Come on now with the nice weather, okay? Because it's pouring over here. Oh, you Gwendolyn, you saw the
Oh,
video.
well, you can have this 87, okay? You can take
Woo!
it.
I,
And it's dry heat.
oh, is it? Oh, so let me pull up this Tamika Mallory. She said anybody knows Chrisean, get those two in touch with each other because she's willing to help the young mother out. And I commend her. So let me just share this, right? So this is Tamika Rounding. She said, my heart goes out to Chrisean. She's been heavy on my heart. I was a young single mother, and it's no joke. I was young, fighting with my son's father, and the son father must have passed away because she said, rest in peace. Okay. I had no clue about real adulting. People talked about me. Many people didn't think I would be successful. I made a lot of mistakes and poor decisions. My son suffered at times. While we sit and watch sis struggling to find a way, I want to offer support. If anyone who knows, anyone who follows me knows sis, Please let her know there are a group of women ready to help her. We're already discussed ways we can support. This really softens my heart here. When she said, instead of filming me, help me, it hit me to the core. Come on now. Didn't it hit many of y'all to the core? It touched me when she said that. She said, I know it's not easy or convenient to intervene in the affairs of people you don't know, but I do it all the time. A lot of times I suffer the consequences, and I'm okay with that. This situation is no different. Well, Tamika, now that people are telling me you're an activist, I think I heard some of your things before, and I really commend you, sis. And I pray to God that you're able to get in touch with Chrisean because she does need help. And I think too, instead of filming her, help her. And this is Tamika admitting, listen, I was a young mother. I made mistakes. You know what? I don't care, even if you was a parent, that no one ever caught your mistakes or whatever the case may be. If we are very truthful with ourselves as parents, we all did some stuff where I'll be like, oh, I wish I would have did that differently. And you just, you learn to apologize and you move on. Because, such is life. We're always learning as a parent. Even when our children become adults, we're still learning and we're still working our way through this thing together. And all you can say is, you know what, forgive me. I'm sorry I made that decision then, but I'm going to make the decisions now. Let me see what the Chrisean may not receive it. It looks like she forgot she had the baby in Walmart. She had him draped over her arm like clothes. She don't know what she doing. I'm telling you, this girl don't. She really doesn't. And maybe with the right village stepping in to help her, she can learn. In my opinion, thank you. Tamika Mallory is an American activist. She was one of the leading organizers of the 2017 Women's March. I appreciate the education, y'all. So I'll go around really quick. E, how you feeling this Tamika Mallory is ready to step in and help Chrisean Rock?
First of all, people's time is not free. Okay. That's nice that she wants to do this, but if you really take motherhood seriously, then why didn't you go down there and take parenting classes before this baby was born? You had 8, 9 months. Okay, you've been fussing on the internet, keeping up all this drama. You could have been did this. Krishan is totally irresponsible and she's not ready for kids. She said, stop filming me and help me. Help yourself. They have parenting classes in every state. Go buy some before the state mandates it because Blueface has already said that a caseworker is going to be coming to come see her because they've already put a claim out on this woman. This child had no business being in the church, and I'm going backwards because I fell asleep last night. I don't know why she had that baby in that church, just a couple of days old. And I don't know why she got that baby in Walmart. This is just too much. The grandmother has already offered to help and assist. And I just really feel like she's a clown. Where were the church mothers? How come none of those women offered to assist? Like I just really feel like no, people can offer to assist you, but ultimately it's incumbent upon you to better yourself and retain the information. And you have to have comprehension skills and you need to get off drugs, allegedly, but we know the charges. And last thing, I really hate that she has this baby named as a junior after herself because her name has already been muddied and dirtied up in the criminal justice system. If you look at her charges, why would you name this baby after you? You're setting this baby back 20 steps behind because they got the same name as you and it ain't no good.
Thank you, E. I will say this: she's changing the baby name to the baby daddy name and make the baby.
He's a felon too. I mean, that name is dirty. Get this baby a fresh start.
Yeah, Ladon Sweet Tea, I'm with you on this one. So let's help her. She is admitting she needs help. I'm on that page too with you. Savannah, what are you thoughts? Your thoughts? This Tamika Mallory said, you know what? I'm ready to help.
So, Krishan has been exploited ever since she has came onto the social media scenes by Zeus Network,
Yeah.
Natalie Nunn, Blueface, his mama, her family, and I also feel by the whoever recorded this video in Walmart and made it public for the world to see. I am not a fan of any of them. I have never seen a Krishan or Blueface video. I don't even know what they do besides I hear fighting for clicks and views.
Mhm.
But I do feel for her as a young mother myself. I didn't know what I was doing either. I fell asleep many times while the milk was warming up on the stove. I didn't know how, to even bathe the baby, clean the umbilical cord, or all these things that a young mother didn't know. And I was 17, 18 when I gave birth to my son. So, and she doesn't have anyone around her. So somebody stepping in, and she needs someone who has common sense, who isn't doing it for clout
Yeah.
or just to be, in her circle to be recognized, and because everyone that's hanging around her. I just saw something about it, the baby being the star of her first music video, and her whole family is around her, or friends, and why are all these people around this newborn baby? A baby should be in a sanitized environment. You limited visitors, and she doesn't know all of this, and um it's sad. I'm glad someone is stepping up, but I think more elders need to step up and surround her
Mhm.
and guide her, and provide her with knowledge, and just and protect her. I really do think somebody needs to assist her. And I'm not speaking of like Natalie Nunn or Jocelyn, or all of these other degenerates that are on Zeus Network, because I give her another year or so, and she'll be right back doing what it is that she does to make her money.
Yeah, I agree with you, right? But I think she will take the help. I honestly do. I think she will take the help. And because just like all of us, I think we all have several sides to us. And I think right now, because all she knows is to be this ratchet side, because that ratchet side is paying off. Most people, believe it or not, all of us, our brains work on a reward system. You get rewarded for something, you continue to do that, whether it's conscious or unconscious. Many of us do that. You're raised that way your whole life. You do good, you get a gift, or you get some type of praise. You do bad, you get on punishment. Go stand in the corner for 15 minutes. Go to your room. Don't come out. When I was growing up in school, it's like you got to write 100 times. I won't do that again. I'm sorry, or whatever the case may be. So, unconsciously, our whole life, we're raised on a reward system. You do well, you get good prizes. You do bad, you get punished. And unfortunately, a lot of these reality stars, they're getting rewarded for their bad behavior. So she's been rewarded for it, and she's been rewarded big for this behavior. When you can buy at her age or whatever, a 2 point whatever $1 million home that she's in, she doesn't know any different. But I feel like that if the right people step in and talk to her, she will accept the help with this baby. Like she said, I need help. I need help. Like, help me. Instead of talking about me, come help me. Right? Yeah, she needs to she probably does need to sober up. So she got a lot going on with her. A lot. And let's be clear, we're saying, you know what, take a parenting class, this, that, and the other. I'll bring up this one example, not to shame and may she rest in peace, but to give people, something to think about. Who wouldn't know better than Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown was good and grown when they had Bobby Christina? Train wrecks, train wrecks. And let's be clear, Bobby Christina almost didn't stand a chance because of the parents that raised her and the environment in which they raised her. And there were many people around. What happens is with celebrities, people lose all type of common sense when it comes to a celebrity, because they want to be around that celebrity, and they want the money and the accolades and everything that comes with that celebrity. There's a lot of people, they will let you know that they tell these people, they yes these celebrities to death. So Sweet Tea, thank you for being a member for 5 months. It's very hard to raise a child in a spotlight. Yes, it is. Yes. So it's just a lot. Aunt Natty, what are your thoughts?
First of all, I want to commend Tamika Mallory.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of talking about her, we need to pray for her. She is I had my first child at 17. I was in the bed sleep. My mama told me to put him in his bassinet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being hard headed, put him in the bed with me. I was living in a project with a concrete floor. My baby fell out the bed and rolled up under the bed. I got up looking for him. And I was in the house with my mother, had somebody telling me what to do. Parenting classes, and just because she got money, don't mean she automatically know. And
Right.
for that grandmother Blueface mama, look what she did with Blueface. Would you take her advice?
Come
E,
on now.
come on now. You trying to say somebody willing to help her. And as far as Blueface talking about CPS, wasn't he the one asking his baby, was he gay?
Come on now.
Wasn't he the one telling his son to go in the room with the big booty stripper? So how he gonna talk about CPS being his son? Wasn't they at his door?
And
We
she
gonna
picked the mic,
protect.
Yeah,
I didn't interrupt you, E. Let's
but
be
you
come
called
on
my
now.
name.
But I didn't interrupt you.
I got it,
hold
but
on,
you called my
hold on,
name.
hold on, E. Hold on, E. Hold on, E. Go ahead, Aunt Natty.
Well, if we gonna protect black women, we not gonna pick and choose when we protect them. She is a young mother, and I believe she accepted the help because she said, instead of filming me, why not help me? She is asking for help the only way she know how. She wasn't raised in a conducive home to be a good parent. Blueface wasn't raised in a conducive home to be a good parent. Their parents weren't good parents. So how are they going to help them be good parents?
Mm-hmm.
So for somebody to step in who will admit they made mistakes and not claim, because see, I made mistakes. I'm not perfect. I
Right.
didn't do it all right. Even with my second, I made mistakes because I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of bashing her, we should have some compassion for her because she said, why won't you help me? So she's asking for help on a live, the only way she know how. So I commend Tamika Mallory and her group. And all she has to do, I believe, is go to Chrisean's Instagram page, DM her, introduce herself. I think if she's afraid if she asks the state for help, they may come in and take the baby.
Yeah.
People are afraid to ask the state,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
especially with, and like you said, that's how that behavior is how she made her money.
Right.
And if she is afraid, if they go back and look at her behavior and she go to the state, when that child said, I love my baby,
Oh,
that touched my soul.
yes, yes. Yes.
Because a lot of them, she didn't want a baby because she knew she hadn't been raised right. And she knew that daddy hadn't been raised right.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't know if she could be a good mother. But the minute she held that baby, she fell in love with that baby.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
ain't nobody gonna say that at every moment of time when they had a baby. Every time they picked it up, they supported that head. Even if it went for a split second.
Come
We
on,
don't know how
you
long.
telling the truth. You telling
We
the
don't,
truth.
I'm a great grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on panels I'm 68 years old. And right now, I might pick up a baby and just automatically thinking I'm supporting the head because that's what I know to do. But I may look out for a minute and go, oh my God, and
Mm-hmm.
catch myself.
Yes.
So instead of judging, let's pray for her and have compassion. That's it, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you. LaDon Sweet Tea, thank you for the super chat. She said, right on, Aunt Natty. Let me say this also. You know, thank you everybody when you want to share your authentic truth because it helps people. There are a lot of young mothers out there. Listen, there's a lot of mothers for the first time mothers, regardless of their age. just making a whole bunch of mistakes. Just making a whole bunch of mistakes. She asked for help. And let me tell you this. Did my baby ever roll off the bed and fall on the floor? Let me tell the truth and shame the devil. Absolutely yes. Because again, me too. Listen, when you first have this baby, you sleepwalking, you tired. I had the bottle here, and I had a pillow underneath. I'm holding, I'm tired. I didn't even know I was that tired. You thinking you awake, you good, the baby done ate, you birthed the baby. Next thing you know, you sleep, the baby sleep, and then all of a sudden you hear a thump. You like, oh my God. Picking the baby up off the floor, calling the doctor, boo-hooing. Asking me, is it carpet? What happens? Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay. Do you see any lumps? Watch the baby for a couple hours. You're just gonna be okay. Yeah. Remember there was one celebrity, I forgot who it was, but somebody in the hospital. The baby fell out the mother's hands onto the floor in the hospital. Because the mother was too tired. And what happens in the hospital is they so ready for you to get out. They forcing you. You just push this baby out to connect with the baby, feed the baby. The mother was tired. The baby fell out the mother's hand in the hospital while the mother was trying to feed the baby. It's a lot, people, and we all need help. Come on now. We all need help. Wayne, what are your thoughts? Shout out to Tamika Mallory.
My thoughts is that, I'm gonna give her some grace, the first child and everything. And I'm hoping that when people see, like through this live and see the post that Tamika's given, that others maybe other people that are closer to her or around her or who have some possible influence will kind of like kick in. Like when somebody else give, then somebody else give, and then it starts snowballing, So yeah. Hopefully she'll get a village of people, who can stand in the gap of the aunts and the mother, well, not mother-in-laws, but everybody, and kind of help her, not overbearing, but give her some help. Because it's kind of hard when you're a single parent. I was a single parent, okay, with kids 4 and 5 years old for a while, and I knew how hard it was, and I ain't had money coming in like that, but I think she means well. She just don't know well.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot. And you know what? This is old school, very old school. The grandmas in the village would tell you, oh, you don't bring that baby outside. The only time you go outside with that baby for the first few weeks, a couple months, is when you got to go to the doctor's appointment. Okay. They would tell you, don't let everybody up in your baby face. Don't let the people hold your baby. Don't let the people this, that, and the other.
Now, baby.
Yeah, have them wash your hands. But this was a lot of very old school teaching. The new school is these people are out in the streets early with their baby. These people are having pregnancies. You know why? Because everything is about the social media. Even before you would just have a baby shower. Now it's a baby shower in a whole production about letting you know, okay, I found out I'm having a boy or a girl. What they call those again?
Gender reveal.
Yeah, baby reveal. They doing whole big productions on that and still having a baby shower. Matter of fact, this is a true story. The airplane was flying over to let the guests know that the couple was about to have a girl or a boy. The airplane crashed and that person died. Like, it's big productions now with this whole situation. She needs help. Go ahead. Yes.
Diva, when I had my baby, I couldn't.
You broke up. Okay, we'll come back to Arnatti. Is it just me? I don't hear anymore. Okay.
You muted me.
No, I didn't mute. I'm sorry, boo, if I did. Okay.
We couldn't go out for 6 weeks. Now your job wants you back to work in 2 weeks. So you got to take your baby out to daycare if you don't have nobody to watch it. They used to keep you in the hospital 3 days. You had a baby this morning, they trying to kick you out this evening.
You talking facts? You
Uh, uh,
talking facts?
things aren't like it used to be.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she doesn't have anybody reliable around her to teach her. And even though, and some of these parenting classes, you got to research them because some of them are just money grab.
You telling the truth? And listen,
But
even the parenting class, they can't tell you every single thing.
everything.
Everything. They're going to tell you the basis of how you change this diaper, how often you feed the baby, how you make sure this baby is not dehydrated, especially when you breastfeed it. There are some legit good parents that didn't realize their kid was not getting enough to eat through the breastfeeding. This thing is not easy. Okay. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Okay, so first let me give Tamika Mallory her props because she always coming out and doing above and beyond. So I am so thankful for her for doing that. But and I'm not trying to be hard on Chrisean. I really not. We keep talking about our stories. We didn't have the money that Chrisean has neither.
Come
Chrisean
on,
could
in
hire
my opinion.
Krishan could hire, if she really wanted to help, Krishan could hire a midwife to come in and help her. We didn't have that luxury of having that kind of money to hire that for us. I'm just saying, we keep saying, whoa, whoa, somebody need to help her. When are we gonna say that she needs to grow up and help herself? Like everybody can't do it for you. It's a big job being a parent, and it don't just stop when that baby get here. Like it's gonna be a lot of obstacles that she's gonna have to go through. Is everybody gonna have to help her throughout her whole, this baby life, or is she gonna one day grow up and learn to help herself? I'm just saying, like, don't get me wrong. I was a single mom that was going to college, working 2 jobs, and still had to come home and deal with my baby. You talking about tired? That's tiring. Okay, I knew it was times when I didn't sleep and still had to get up and do what I had to do because my parents said I didn't lay down and have them, and I'm not going to sit here and take care of them for you. While you at work, yes, I will watch them, but when you off, this is your child. You laid down and had them. I'm just saying, nobody's there to do it for you. Yes, ask for some help. Okay, I get that. But she has the finances, she has the money to hire somebody to come in and actually help her. There is no excuse for this.
But in my opinion, do you think she could trust? See, and that's it. When you in that reality world and got money, some people.
Ain't Natty? Ain't Natty? There's board certified home care health nurses that will come out and help you with a toddler.
Let me
Board.
let me just add this though. And I don't want to go too far down the path on this, but let me add this. You gotta understand that Blueface was running her money. When she signed her contract, she signed over for him to get the money, and then he was kind of shelling it out to her. And she was also wondering why every time she asked to buy something, he claimed that she didn't have any money. I understand just because you have the resources, you have the final financial resources, that doesn't all of a sudden make you smart and say, oh, I have the money. Let me just hire a nanny, right? And all nannies are not equal, whether they're board certified or not. We
Come
can,
on, Diva.
you could run down and do a list of how many nannies, unalive babies, did babies dirty. Listen, some of these people right up in the daycare with the cameras watching them. There's just another daycare. This is a true story, people, where the baby is no longer here because it was a front for, the drugs. And the baby is gone, fentanyl. Yeah, the baby's gone. Google the story. I ain't making this up because I was going to do that story, but it was so emotional for me. I was like, do I want to go down that road right now?
I saw it yesterday.
You drop your baby off at daycare. Baby gone. They be gone. So when we say everybody here, you can Google anything you want, but don't mean the Google is going to get you the results that you want. Okay, I had needed some things fixed in my house. Google, and had to tell some of them to get out. And they was all through a verified site and all of that. Okay, what's that? Because they got this site called Thumbtack or Thumb, whatever. They got so many sites. We verify, and these are people approved by us, this, that, and that. Everybody just wants their money. I ordered the cleaning people from there at one time. Yeah, I put all the details in there. He came to my house. Oh, I didn't realize I need to charge you more. The devil is a liar. You said this was XYZ price. That's what I paid. Stop the nonsense. So just because you Google or they claim they board certified, you talking to a board certified pediatric nurse, okay? And let me tell you something. You know how you get certified? You take a test. Because everything's a money grab. You take a test, you pass the test, now you can say you board certified. It means what? Chanel G, I don't know why you thought you was blocked or if you was joking, but what are your thoughts on this? Because I'm about to move it to the next story. Yes, he did. He controlled her in her money. The girl needs help. Thank you, Tamika Mallory. Chanel G, are you there? Because
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, your thoughts.
This is Nikki.
Yes, I know it's Nikki.
I don't have any thoughts about this because I literally just tuned in. So you could just move to the next one.
Okay, I will move to the next one.
Wait, Diva, remember last week you said people got to pull up their bootstraps, right? So
Yes,
Chrisean got to pull up her bootstraps. Get up and raise hers like we get up and raise ours.
Come
right,
on,
Diva?
E.
But see, here's the thing, right? Everybody does not get, we got to do stuff sometimes on a lot of times on a case-by-case basis, right? And yes, I definitely believe you got to pull up your bootstraps and get the darn thing done. But I'm saying that clearly we see this girl. I'm telling you, as a whole, at that time when I had my kid, as a whole college graduate, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing when you pushing this baby out.
That's true.
I needed help and still got help. And my son is 18, just took him to the college dorm. And still to this very moment, the village has helped me.
And so what? That's what I'm saying, Diva.
But hold on, let me just finish. My girlfriend emailed me. To God be the glory. I love that girl. Okay. She ever needed blood, I'm telling her, tap my vein and see if I'm a match and give her how much of my blood she needs. She emailed me the list because that girl loved to do her research and stuff. This is all the stuff that the internet and all this says that you need to get the kids when they going off to the dorm. So many people that knew I was about to send a kid off to the dorm or whatever the case may be was just pouring into me because I thought I had everything I needed. And telling me, get this, do this how you do this how you do that. You got to tell them, put the tracking on your phone so you always know he's safe. You understand what I'm trying to say? The people poured into me. Thank God for the village. I'm telling you right here, right now, every day I go to sleep and wake up, I thank God for the village. I don't care if you got a no degree, a GED, or a PhD. When it comes to raising these kids, you need the village. And everything is not about Google. And you want to know why? And everybody, if you're not talking to me yet, mute because I'm getting a little feedback. You need the village. Let me tell you something. The village helped me with my career. Sometimes you need people to say, no, go back and ask them this. No, study these questions so when you go in an interview, you'll be good. No, go dress this way. Back in the days where we actually physically had to go into a building for an interview. No, My first time when I went to the college, okay, because my parents did not go to college. They knew to send me. They didn't know anything beyond that on how to help me. Okay? And it wasn't, how am I Google what I don't know to Google? But let me tell you, again, to God be the glories, always sending the people my way to help me. A perfect stranger, when I was in the line, this is back when you would go to the bookstore, the college bookstore, to get the books. The girl behind me told me, "Oh, you're about to pay and buy for those books?" She said, "Do you know you could go to the financial aid office and they have all these grants and this, that, and that, and you just got to go in there and ask them. They're not going to offer it to you, but you can go there and ask them because you're a minority." A non-minority, a girl that didn't even look like me, told me this in the book line. I put all the books down back. I went over to the financial aid office. By the time I left, it was almost like I hit the lotto. I was on the EOF program. It's a SOG, whatever. I listen, you know, I'm 53. I done been to school 100 years ago, but y'all understand what I'm trying to say? If this chick behind me didn't tell me, I would have been struggling to pay for the school books. But girlfriend behind me told me, "No, you need to go over to the financial aid office and do XYZ." All I'm trying to say is we all need somebody. We all need somebody to help us out and tell us what we don't know. We all need that person. So I'm just saying this, yeah, the girl got money. So what? Yeah, the girl has made mistakes. So what? Yeah, the girl be on the internet acting a fool, doing this, that, and whether. I'm saying she got a little baby. Let's help her save this baby and raise the future and give her the stuff she may not know and don't know, help her out. Because like we said, we heard the girl say out of her own mouth, "I need help." Instead of you talking about me, why you just come over there and help me tighten up this harness so that my baby won't drop and fall on the floor? That's all. LaDon Sweet Tea, thank you for the super chat. Look at how many Hollywood kids raised by Hollywood parents go buck wild. Come on now. Money is not always the answer. She needs personal guidance. LaDon Sweet Tea, boom, you hit the nail on the head. I appreciate you. And thank you for the super chat, right? So has money, but she doesn't have she has money, but she doesn't have boots. Yeah, you know, yes, thank you for the super chat. You know, money is not the answer, the end all be all. If that was the case, a lot of these people in Hollywood wouldn't be in the trouble that they are. And again, I don't want to just talk about somebody's kids, but look at T.I.'s son, T.I. and Tiny. They got money for days. Okay, exactly. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And we all need help.
And you won't learn it if you don't go find it.
How do you, again, you go find what that you don't know? Like,
Diva, I'm just saying, there's a lot of single moms that's out there that don't know how to be a mama, and they not putting their kids on social media for clicks and views. They not out here doing the same antics that she's doing, and they not out here begging somebody to come help them. They lacing up their bootstraps and figuring it out the real way. Like, they not out here. I'm just not buying that she don't know everything. I'm not gonna say she don't know. You got to know something, okay? Like, you knew this baby was coming for 9 months. That baby sat in your belly for 40 weeks.
Okay, preach.
Okay, like, I'm just saying, you know how to swaddle your baby, at least. At the very least, you know how to swaddle your baby.
how, in my opinion, when we show people in a hospital all day long, this is.
But that's what I'm saying. They showed you in the hospital. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm. But that's what I'm saying. If you don't, they got swaddlers. They got swaddlers now that you don't have to learn how to swaddle them. You just put them in the suppression and it swaddles them for you. Like, I'm just saying, they making it easier for these people. Like, in our days, we actually had to sit here and figure out how to fold this thing to swaddle our babies. No, they have this whole swaddle thing where you put the baby in there and it just snaps closed and it swaddles them. Like, they made it so much more easy for these parents. That's what I'm saying. Like, I done had children back when We didn't have all this stuff, and I'd have had them now that everything is out there. Like we used to have to warm the milk and make sure it was warm on the dang skin. They got bottle warmers now where you can put it where it goes to the temperature that you're supposed to have it at. That's what I'm saying. They made it easy for these women. I'm not finna sit out here and cradle her like she's some kind of baby. She had a baby. It's babies out here having babies that really need help. That's who we need to be helping. We need to be helping these single moms out here that don't have any resources, any money, nobody to come to ask for help. That's who we need to be providing help for. But these moms that's out here that got money, that's got fame and all that, you need to find your own help because you have the luxury and the resources to go out there and find you some help if you need it. These other moms that don't have it, they are struggling. Them are the ones that I feel sorry for.
Me too. In my opinion, is correct because when you are pregnant, in my opinion, said something great. Who just sits around for 40 long weeks just waiting? No, you prepare. You start thinking about, okay, well, I need to do this. I need to do that. You start getting books. My mother got me a book. They got YouTube videos of moms documenting their whole pregnancy, documenting the whole first year of their baby's life. It's not that you have to get on Google because Chrisean may not know how to read, but she can get on YouTube. She can watch the videos. Where these church mothers? She's always in the church. I love God. I got all the right people around me. What? All those women in the church that was watching that baby be born at baptized, at 3 days old. Where those women at? They can't help her. Can't nobody tell her how to hold that baby head. Is that what you're telling me?
Can I say one thing?
One thing, and I'm moving on because they killing me with the lack of compassion. But go ahead.
I just want to say that I think everybody is right. Mm-hmm. So everything, in my opinion, is saying is correct. You could do all of those things. Everything I feel like Diva's saying is correct, meaning she could need help, whatever the case may be. But I think the bigger point to me is that parenting is a on-the-job training. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter if you have 3 kids already, because your 4th kid might be something completely different. They could have special needs. They could have learning disabilities, on and on and on. So I think if you don't know 100%, you should, it's on you because you're the parent. You should try. And by try, I mean, even if that means talking to your mom, talking to your grandma, talking to your friend at work, whatever it is, because all of us need help parenting whomever we're parenting. But I don't think we should let people off the hook. But I do think that we have to have compassion with all of the other comments that are along with that, because just because I seemingly am doing well at parenting doesn't necessarily mean I'm doing well at parenting. How many people have we heard about that has, what is that called? I forget the
postpartum depression.
Right. But they on the outside, they look fine. They seem like they're doing really well, but they dying inside. Mm-hmm. So I just think all of y'all are right. I do think people have to take personal responsibility for whatever for the process of raising their children and making sure that they're healthy. But I also think you can't just assume just because that's how you did something or that you were resourceful at doing things that everybody's going to be that way. I just don't think we should put that on someone personally.
Right. We're going to move on. I will end with this particular topic with this is say I have compassion for her. One of the trending topics, we had a young lady who, her whole pregnancy, she was a teenage pregnant, went to the hospital, okay, had the baby in the bathroom, and the baby is no longer here. So, and everybody don't necessarily connect to their baby in utero. It's a whole lot of bigger conversation that can go on with this, but I just say this. I have compassion.
Tell her to write a strawberry letter.
And I pray to God that, this Tamika Mallory and her individuals do get a hold of Chrisean and help her out. There's another life here. And, a lot of times we're like, okay, well, why you didn't ask for help? She's crying out. And a lot of times we see things, we're like, oh, that person was crying out. Well, she's crying out. And Tamika Mallory heard her cry. And I pray to God that they do get in contact with each other and that, the right things get set up and set in place so that she can, be a better parent and just, do this thing a little bit differently because this baby got 18 years to go and that's her mama.
Diva, can I say one thing and we gonna move on?
Yes, go ahead.
I hope no one on this panel, in this chat, in the world that has those feelings never have the need for someone to have compassion for them. We focusing on Chrisean. I'm focusing on the baby.
Yeah.
You can say what you want about Chrisean. We're talking about a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's going to be a point in everybody's life where they need compassion and help at some point in time.
You
and
better
I hope when that time comes, no one feels the same about you as you can have no compassion for no one else.
Yeah.
That's it and that's all.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Well, Diva, I need to say one more thing, okay? Since we on the compassion, I'm always the one that's compassionate for everybody. I think I've said that many times. I actually dedicated my channel for people to get the help that they need and finding the resources that they want. Here's the thing. I see a lot of women that I help out personally, okay, that really need some support. Okay, I'm not gonna cradle somebody that's grown, that sat out there and spread their legs wide open and got pregnant. When 9 months, okay, she showed herself at the doctor's office. Why didn't you ask the doctor if you didn't know how to cradle? I don't understand. Can you get me some help? Why she not went to no social worker and asked, why can I get some help? I'm struggling really bad. Like, this is the problem. When you need help, then you need to reach out to somebody and say, I need help. Don't let somebody else put you out on blast and then say, as a result, oh, I need help. Don't just put me out there, I need help. If you ask not, you get not.
She asked, and y'all saying she shouldn't get.
She only asked after she was caught.
Correct.
You didn't ask before then?
We gotta move on. We gotta move on.
In my opinion, is right.
We gotta move on. We'll move on. Here's the thing. Let me tell you this, and this is a fact. If that baby would have came out addicted, they would have never let her leave with the baby to begin with. That's just a fact. This is what's 100% fact. Legally, they wouldn't have been able to do that. And that's a point blank in a period. I'm gonna move on. It's a very emotional topic. The panel was kind of split. It is what it is, but on Natty, sometimes we go back and forth. But on this one, I'm connecting with you. It's the baby. Let's have some compassion. We're gonna move on. Ooh, I thought that was just going to be an update. I guess I was wrong with that. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on because there's a student who, unfortunately, and this is always so sad to me, this particular student, saying that got kicked out of the school because of his hairstyle. So I got so many different stories on this, like so many different things. That's not the one I want to bring up just yet. Let me go back to the other screen. Gotta see what screen. Maybe this is it. Okay. So
using cat asset code.
Let me see. I hate when that happens. So a Barbers Hills high school student claims he repeatedly subjected to inhumane conditions because of his hair, right? So let's listen.
A local student suspended from school for his hairstyle. Tonight, his family is telling us here at KPRC2, the rules are not being applied equally across the board.
Tonight, that family tells us they are now getting threats. We want to thank you for joining us. I'm Keith Garvin.
And I'm Daniela Guzman. Good evening. Well, it is the latest development in a story that has received national attention, centered around a Barbers Hill High School student. And the school district has maintained they're just enforcing the dress code.
KPRC2's Devin Clark is outside the school with an update that you'll see only on 2 tonight.
The family says they've been fed nothing but lies by school officials, and even a memo they got today seems to further contradict the school district's stance on the male dress code.
I won't go to class. That's all I want to do. Just get me out of ISS.
But today, 17-year-old Barbers High School junior Daryl George found himself in in-school suspension again.
It started the Friday after the first week. It was hat day. They said that my hair was below my eyebrows and stuff, even though I had a hat on.
While it's hard to tell how long his hair is because it's braided back, it's clear he has locks. His mother, Darisha George, says the school is violating the recently passed Crown Act, which outlaws racial discrimination based on hairstyles.
I'm very angry.
Family advocate Candace Matthews showed us this memo today. She says was written by Barbers Hill ISD officials, saying they filed a declaratory judgment lawsuit seeking court clarification on whether the newly passed Crown Act prohibits grooming policies addressing the length of a male student's hair, adding the district's grooming policy, which does not prohibit male students from wearing braids, locks, or twists, does have male hair length requirements. But Daryl and some of his classmates showed us why they say that doesn't make sense.
The way he had his hair, to me, it looked like it was in dress code. The way I have my hair, supposedly is in dress code for them, but it's obviously longer than his.
Until this gets sorted out, Matthews says part of Daryl's in-school suspension punishment forces him to sit in a very cold room on a stool all day.
For 7 to 8 hours on end. Can you imagine that's torture?
They say there are no teachers explaining Daryl's lessons, and he's being fed bologna sandwiches.
So you giving them jail bologna sandwiches. And let's be clear about bologna. Research shows with bologna, you can get cancer from that.
The lack of proper education and nutrition, they believe, is a recipe for disaster.
He's not doing anything wrong. He's doing exactly what I'm telling him to do. Go to school, get your education, become something. Now y'all telling him, oh, he can't become anything because of his hair?
We tried reaching out to Barbers Hill High School and Barbers Hill ISD officials multiple times, but have not heard back. The family says their attorney has gotten the Texas Education Agency to launch an investigation, and they're planning to file a federal lawsuit on Friday. Reporting outside of Barbers Hill High School, Devin Clark, KPRC 2 News.
So just so you know, they did file that lawsuit against the school. I won't read the whole article in essence of time here because I didn't realize our first subject was going to take so long. But you get it. They even suspended him over this here. Then they let him back in. It's a whole hot mess. And there is a Crown Act that was enacted into law because I don't know if you remember a long time ago. Well, I'm saying a long time ago, but a while ago, I think it might have been last year, the year before that, there was a student where he was playing a sport. They literally cut his hair during the sport activity because they said his hair was in violation. Cut his hair in front of everybody or he was going to be able to continue to match. This hair thing is getting out of control. E, what are your thoughts?
Well, for me, I need to know why the school is enacting this stance. How are they suggesting that no hair on male students below the eyebrows and below the earlobes? Because that's what their policy states, because I looked it up. Mm-hmm. How does that stimulate productivity in the learning environment? And the reason I think that's important is because I looked up the ranking of this school and they're ranked 206th in the state of Texas. So maybe they're great in athletics, but when it comes to rankings and being 206, that's not looking good if you ask me. I did see that prior case about the student with the hair being cut off, and I did see that the person who represented them on that case, I believe it was someone who was also a part of the NAACP, they won that case in 2020, and that student was allowed to come back to school, and they were instructed, from what I read, I could be mistaken, but I thought I read that they were not allowed to implement discipline or hair because of that Crown Act. And so to know that they're still doing that after they just had a case in 2020 and they settled that case, I'm shocked that this is still going on. And so for me, I think that this family should take this to federal court. But if your child was in school suspension, and trust me, I have a child, and also I worked in the education system. I know that when parents come up and complain about over discipline, they will give you choices. And either you can take your child out and do out of school suspension, and you can request the teachers to email the work and whatever lesson plans and what have you. Or you can go to the superintendent. I want to know what steps, because if the school is putting your child in school suspension and turning down the temperature and you're sitting on a stool all day, I've never known for the kids in school suspension to have to sit on a stool and they're fed bologna sandwiches. So Texas is off the chain. But after the principal didn't give you the result you wanted, did you go to the superintendent? Did you go to the person of the Department of Education in your state? Because this is outrageous. And I want to know, did you take any steps to mitigate your losses? Because the school is 10,000% wrong and they have to pay. But ultimately, it will cost the citizens of Texas because the taxpayers will have to eat this bill.
Yeah. Ladam Sweet Tea, thank you for the super chat. This is not the military. This is high school. It's insane. But again, there's a connection here with what we're saying. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and some people don't know who to reach out to or who to write to when they're being done wrong. Legit, some people just don't know. And when you're in certain industries, you know more about that industry than the maybe the regular lay person in the world. You know, I have friends that worked at banks and they told me how to do things with my bank, and I would have never known. I didn't even know that I didn't know what I didn't know. But they told me. And thank God. Savannah, what are your thoughts?
So I am an advocate and staunch supporter of the Crown Act. This is one bill that I actively follow, not just because it affects me personally. I have a mixed grandbaby in elementary school, and in her school, I'm in Northern Virginia, right outside of DC, and she goes to a predominantly Caucasian school, and she's, they're constantly trying to touch her hair, and they're always commenting on her hair. But Virginia is protected under the Crown Act. But when I learned of Dove and their campaign to have petitioners sign, and if you're currently, there's 22 states, Texas being the last, that just passed the bill for the Crown Act. It became in effect September 1st of this year. Alabama is not one of the states that has the Crown Act. So I staunchly advise, share it on your social media, sign the petition, support Dove, because I also follow it, because in the workplace, I see how we in my business, it also, we did research where we seen where Black women are more likely to change their natural hair. They go ahead and change their hair to straight because they believe that if they fix their natural texture of their hair, they'll get that job interview or they'll get the promotion if they have straight hair. So we follow that. The Crown Act did a workplace research study earlier this year, and it was interesting, the findings that they released based on the discrimination on hairstyles, on African American women and people of color, Black and brown women, the things that we had to do just to get noticed in the workplace. So it's not just in schools how it affects. So the Crown Act is something I staunchly support, and it is a bill. Cory Booker is the senator that is, the bill should be brought to the Senate floor. It did die. It did not have enough votes to pass in December of 2022, but Cory Booker will be introducing it again. So I do ask that you please share it on your social media, or in your school newspapers, or with your groups of friends and people. Because I definitely believe it's something that's just something as simple as your hair. And Dove is a strong supporter, and they have a fierce campaign. So I really love what Dove is doing. Just go to Dove's website and you'll learn more about the Crown Act, and just sign the petition.
I appreciate that, Savannah, and all of that information. I do appreciate that. Rainy J, you are correct. You are correct, and I think he got a slight nudge from the powers that be over there at CBS. The
Nope.
CBS reporter,
Sorry.
with
Hi,
Gal,
y'all.
huh? Hey,
I'm gonna that's not correct. He was his hair. He was not sanctioned by his hair. As a matter of fact, when Nate Burleson was introduced to us before he became a co-host on CBS Morning, we met him with his hair braided.
Okay, so okay, so give me a minute,
Okay.
because I do want to go in order, but I will come back to you. You could explain that. But I'm just saying, she didn't say he was sanctioned. Okay. All she said is a serious reporter with Gail King. He braided his hair. A week later, he took them out. And I did notice that also. Arnatti, what are your thoughts? The kid. Are you there, Arnatti? I think sometimes it's with her taking her thing off of mute. I'm gonna skip over her for right now. I'll go to you, Wayne. What are your thoughts?
Okay, to me, it's a complete discrimination, because that mother and the son and the lady that was on the sofa with them, she's very active. She's on several boards or something, or she's in NAAC. She's on a bunch of stuff. I sent you an article.
Okay.
And when they came there, they met with the communications director. And while he was coming up, she took a picture of a white young man with dreads all the way down his back.
Wow.
And he said, well, I don't know about, she said, I got the picture right here. He just walked in.
Oh, shoot.
He had just walked in. And so the communications director said, well, I'm not in charge. She said, you're the communications director, and I'm communicating with you about this young man who's definitely in violation of that. And so he went on to say, well, there are some exceptions for religious reasons and stuff like that. So she broke it down to him about the wearing of the locks, on Black people, was educating him. And she gave him a good education. He was trying to slip back, and she made him stay right there and listen to her, because everything she was telling was true. She said, she was explaining how he is, within the limits of that Crown Act. It wasn't on his shirt or nothing like that. She said, but how come you haven't pulled this young man up right here? Who clearly got dreadlocks and hair is locked and down his back. And this wasn't even neat. So yeah, this is, she's going to take it. I mean, she's actually the lady on the sofa. They've done their work, and they're working on it to take. But I think they decided, look, we're going to go to the school. We're going to speak to somebody. Since the principal won't come out and he sent you out, you're the communications director, so we're communicating with you. And every time she tried to I don't make those decisions, she said, but you're the communications director. So, but that, to me, that's what that is. If this one don't have to do it, but this one has to do it, and you haven't sent this young man to detention or anything like that, and it's very obvious, just like the young man in the article, the white young man, he said that he thought the other guy's hair was in compliance. He said, now mine, he said, obviously mine is longer than his.
That part.
Nothing was said to him. So
shout out when your fellow students is stepping up and trying to help you out too, and they know it's wrong.
Right, exactly, yeah. They know it was wrong. They know it was wrong. But that woman on the sofa was timing up for him. I sent you the article. I sent you the thing from YouTube.
Yeah, send it to my email, please, if you don't mind. If you can, Wayne. Thank you. I appreciate you. I just saw, I didn't hear it all, but in my opinion, your thoughts?
I think this is total BS. Okay, they always say, "Oh, let's sign these petitions and start something new." Let me tell you something. Everything that's new don't mean better. No, it's not signed here in Alabama, and I think a lot of feedback was taken from it because everybody wanted to know what was the purpose of having it here. You know what I'm saying? And to the benefit of the people that we were getting the information on the Crown Act was that we were supposed to not be judged for our hair, but clearly we see how that's turning out in other states. They already being judged. You still being judged by your hair because clearly that boy hair is put up, so you don't know how long his hair is. You can only guess because it's put up. So if you're saying that's a distraction, then of course I don't want to hear in Alabama because all my older kids all have dreads and theirs are very long. I don't understand what's the purpose. Like, it's not like these dreads are going to stop you from being a student. It's not going to stop your grades from going up. Like, what is the point? You tell me something that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, they took away the kids' rights to wear colored clothes and shoes, and then they put them in uniforms because they claimed there was too much gang activities or whatever associated with colors. So now you want to put everybody in navy blue and white or khaki and white. Like, what are we gonna do next? What are we taking away from our kids next? Are we gonna tell them that no colors in the rainbow you can wear? Like, miss me with that. Like, our kids deserve the right to go to school and wear and express themselves the way they do, as long as it's not affecting your work in your classroom or the workplace. You should feel comfortable to dress and style your hair the way you want to.
Yeah. Natty, I'm up to you. What are your thoughts on this situation?
I agree with, in my opinion, that is straight discrimination. From the picture, his hair was neatly braided, and the guy said, and we see those clear people walking the halls with their hair down in their eye. Let's not get it twisted. But the most inhumane part that I heard out of that whole interview, not only did you put this child in suspension, but you made him sit on a stool all day and eat bologna sandwiches while the rest of the kids ate regular food in the cafeteria. So not only did you take away my right to wear my hair like I wanted to, you taking a right to proper education. Now you feed me jail food? No, ma'am. His parents did right. And I agree with E. But here at where I live, our school superintendent tell the parents in a minute, she don't do parents. She don't talk to parents. I don't know if it's like that at that school, but everybody don't have the type of superintendent you could go to. So she did right. They went to the school. The school did not comply. Take them. If the citizens have to pay for it, maybe the citizens get some better administration in the school.
Yeah, it's sad. Nikki, your thoughts?
Listen. I think this is a prime example of creating a problem where one does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
You want a problem. Because why is this even a rule? Who decided that this needed to be a rule is my question. And I really don't get where your hair has any sort of impact on your intelligence or your ability to gain knowledge. I don't understand why it's connected at all, because we all have hair, unless you shave it all off. So I just, it's not like something you can just be like, oh, well, I don't want to have hair anymore. It's asinine. And then I do feel like I'm gonna shake the train just a slight bit, Miss Diva, because I don't mean any harm, but this is the type of stuff that I don't understand. So in my opinion, I think it's interesting to me that all around this country, and I would argue all around the world, we having all these conversations about children being able to have the right to change up their body parts and become a male or female and how they feel about this, that, and other. And here's the thing. I wholeheartedly agree that whatever you want to do with your body, that's between you and your doctor. At the same time, I'm like, why are we advocating for all of that? But we have a problem with someone's hair. So you can have a child can have all the what's the word, protection in the world and all the rights in the world to cut off their boobs, add new boobs, cut off their genitalia, add new genitalia, but I can't wear my hair. Are you I'm about to cuss. I'm sorry. I just got angry because I'm just like, just knock it off. Again, that's why I say it, to me feels like you just want to create a problem where one doesn't exist. I can guarantee you nobody's running around the school talking about, oh my God, his hair is making me uncomfortable. And even if they were, and even if it is a rule, it doesn't have to be anymore. Let's just be very clear. You could put a rule in a handbook or whatever and say this is the rule, but you can obviously just remove it. It doesn't take that much. Okay, let's reprint whatever, and then it's not a rule anymore. So to me, it feels very much like, let's single this person out. And obviously, if he's brown, we already know that he's going to get singled out in some way. Or they'll go find a problem. Oh, he smoked weed 3 weeks ago or 3 years ago. It's just so stupid to me. But yeah, that's my problem. I feel like, where are all of the people who are so supportive of children being, I don't know if it was Sebastian or somebody was saying something about a law in Florida or maybe California where if the parents don't agree with something that the child wants to do to their body, they can get fined or something like that. So I'm like, how it's just so uneven and it doesn't make sense. But we're so focused on that and we're so heavily, guarding the rights of a child to be able to do this, but we can't guard the child's right to wear dreads. It's just nonsense. So anyway.
I appreciate you. Let me see, where am I going? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm coming to you, Adele. Let me just play something else here. Oh, I'm always like, do I have the right thing up? I do. Let's just hear a little bit more, another side of this story.
A Barbers High School junior who school officials say is violating the dress code.
Yeah, this after he's already spent weeks isolated from his peers because a staff member said his hair was too long. Tonight, Devin Clark shows us how long his punishment is being extended this time and what one of the people who vote on the rules has to say about that. Devin.
Keith, Daniela, after trying multiple times to reach Barbers Hill ISD school officials on the main lines didn't work, we decided to reach out to each and every single board member. Take a look at what we got. After this report aired last night,
I won't go to class. That's all I want to do. Just get me out of ISIS.
Today, 17-year-old Barbers Hill High School junior Daryl George was given another referral for in-school suspension, where he's been for weeks now. This latest referral, as seen here, tacking on 5 more days of punishment. Barbers Hill High School officials say his hair length violates the district's male student hair length policy, despite it being braided up and not in his face or down his neck. With no response from school officials, we tried reaching out to every board member, starting with Benny May.
Hello. You have reached the Texas Association of School Boards.
The number listed for him wasn't his direct line. We tried George Barrera, Mark Wilson, Eric Davis.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail box of Eric Davis.
And Becky Tice, the only one who we were able to reach.
Hey, this is Devin Clark. I'm a reporter with KPRC 2 News on record.
Was Fred Skinner, who had this to say.
The day he came, apparently they said that his hair was too long.
We saw him yesterday, and his hair isn't below his eyebrows or even below the back of his neck, or even below his ears.
Okay, well, I have not seen him, but the people who work for us have said that his hair is out of policy.
Would you be willing to take a look yourself?
I am not the person who makes that evaluation. People hired to do that.
A memo sent to parents yesterday suggests that Darrell is going to stay in in-school suspension until a court clarifies the Crown Act, which bans racial discrimination against hairstyles. We do know, as mentioned yesterday, his family is in the process of filing a federal lawsuit tomorrow. Report.
Ooh, honey, and they tacked on days. They doubled down. Adele, what are your thoughts?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. My thoughts on this is this is cultural assimilation, and I feel it grows from a lack of representation. I know there was a gentleman right there that was Black that's on the board, but it's not because the person is Black doesn't mean they're a good representation, because maybe they also have a problem with locks. Like
Oh, you breaking up, Adele, and I never knew your hair was locked up in that long. You're on mute, boo. Come off. We want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the more opposition I've gotten was from the community itself, and especially at church. I had my pastor said to me, oh, you look so good when you had your hair wrapped, or when you had it like this, why don't you wear wigs and stuff like that? And to me, yeah, and
I had to curse a pastor out.
I had more support from people cultures that would be like, wow, I love your hair. You know what I mean? So my experience has been different. Like, this is beyond words. I think we need more representations in the meetings that are making these decisions, because not what's good for your culture, the rule that you've had for a long time, may not be good for all cultures. This reminds me of those residential schools where they used to cut off all the Native kids' hair and let them wear nothing but white representation of clothing. That's not their culture. So why are you doing that? A lot of people don't understand. Like, for some people it's a hairstyle, and for some it's more than that. And even if you have Black people who are into the weaves, the wigs, and all of those stuff, for me, it's not for me, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. So why are you telling me what to do? I'm connected to this because to me it's natural, and I love being natural. I'm more connected that way, and I feel more myself this way than the other way. So check in with me, figure out where I'm coming from, what's happening, versus you trying to tell me, like, because to me, wigs and weaves make you more Caucasian. It's a thing. That's why I really don't understand when people say, oh, white people should braid their hair, that why are you wearing wigs and weaves? And that's just my opinion. To me, it's the same thing. But there's a lot of arguments around that. Moving forward beyond that, like, this to me, I'm just saddened by it, because I was a counselor in the school system for a very long time, and a lot of things for Black youths are looked over, because what happens is that people are coming from their perspective, and if you don't come into those crevices and corners and say, wait a minute, like, this is what's going on here. He's reacting this way because of this. You know what I mean? He's saying this because of this. And to me, that's what I feel like is missing here. Who knows in what situation it may be more, it may be less, but a lot of the times I feel like it's a lack of representation, lack of someone there to put in place something that represents me and is going to protect me and my rights. Why is there a Caucasian gentleman there with long locks, but a Black person who's not? And I'm not doubling down saying a Black person should wear locks and a white person shouldn't. It's not for me to decide. I'm just saying, like, is it his religion? And why is the Black person can't wear it? Did you check in with him to see the reasons behind it? So we just have to figure out what's happening here. Why are you making this decision? And is your decision going against my rights? And is it just aesthetics? Because that's not enough. And I'll leave it there, because this is a very sticky slope, and it can be triggering and a deep conversation, because there's so much elements to it. But for me and from my perspective, even though I say what I thought. I think everyone should be able to express themselves the way they need to. But I do understand the elements too from working in the school that some fashions can be distracting. I went to a Catholic white all girls school, and even though we're in uniforms, we still found ways to express ourselves. It's so funny what you do and what you find to make yourself. So there's just a lot of things that needs to be looked at.
I will say this, and I want to say this. So remember, when I talk, people is coming against no one is generic, and I just want to clarify some things and say some things. I think no matter who you are, black, white, yellow, orange, green, you're an alien. I think that however you want to wear your hair, you should be able to wear your hair. And I think that no matter what and how you wear it, it should be no assumptions as to why you wear your hair that way. If you want to perm your hair, perm your hair. And why do we associate, just like we don't want others to associate a traditional, cultural style as a black hairstyle, we shouldn't, and on the flip side, associate other styles, as just maybe a white hairstyle or this hairstyle or whatever the case may be, right? And a lot of women of color get a lot of heat when we want to wear extensions, a wig, color our hair, braid our hair, or whatever, right? And my thing is, I don't care how you wear your hair. That doesn't necessarily mean you're trying to be this over that, or that it means that you don't care about yourself. You have low self-esteem. If you want to wig it out, wig it out. I ain't mad at you. If you want to dye your hair, dye your hair. I ain't mad at you. I was addicted. I probably tell you, listen, the picture in my corner here. Addicted to braids. Addicted. Okay. I know in Harlem on 125th Street, I promise you this, my braider, I've known her for over 25 years. The same exact braider. Amanetta. They know my whole family in that shop. My whole family. Okay, just addicted to braids. It was just easy for me, and whatever the case may be. But I have done weaves. I have done wigs. The only thing with wigs for me, it scared me because I always felt like it was just going to just come off out of nowhere. I was only petrified about wigs because, maybe I just had anxiety about it because I was like, why can't have my wig just fly off somewhere? But braids, I was the queen of braids. Okay, I had jerry curls. I had perms. It's every time a black woman wants to do something to their hair, it's like we're trying to be somebody we're not. No, we're expressing ourselves through the different ways that we do our hair. We always find a way to fight in the black community. When natural became like, the big thing, right? All of a sudden it was like natural versus the not natural. Why do we got to fight? You want to be natural, be natural. If I want to wear my wig, not talking to you, Adele, please give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, though, Adele. Give me a minute, though, please. Please give me a minute. But so what I'm saying is that we it's always this contention, and it's always around our hair. But I will always say that a lot of black men, they always want to say, that we don't love ourselves. Why you want to perm your hair? Why you wanted this? Why you wanted that? That's one form of expression for us, and I really don't care. Wig, wear your wig. Braids, wear your braids. Locks, wear your locks. But my thing is, I don't agree with the outside world when it comes to us going to get a job, when us going to school, that we're being judged for our hair, because it's not right. And you will see many, many, many anchors will tell you when they are of a certain skin color, how they've been discriminated against their hair. Listen, Gabrielle Union, she had that fight on I want to say it was America's Got Talent with NBC.
Right.
Yeah. I want to say Judge Maybelline. She said they could not, her hair was coming out, and they insisted that she wore wigs because nobody could come on that set to do her hair. Okay. I want to say the ladies in the Olympics that are in the swimming part, and even the gymnastic girls, their hair. We got a lot with our hair. It's like for honestly, I feel like sometimes we just can't catch a break. We can't catch a break. So when you on the swim team for the Olympics, right? You know, everybody else could come out the pool and you know their hair may dry up and be all curly. Your hair might be all over the place. So now they want you to come back to do the press, but you in the locker room trying to see if you could get your hair to halfway together so you could come out and be in front of this press and not look crazy. So a lot of them end up braiding their hair, whatever. So at least when you finish swimming, you could come out and do your press thing and not look so crazy. You know, gymnastics, because all like gymnastics, ballet, and all these different things, they want your hair a certain way because of the sport, right? Or the dance or whatever. A lot of the ballet, ballerinas, you got to wear your hair up in a thing, so to speak, right? It ain't easy sometimes, especially if your hair natural, getting your hair up in the bun. And there may be all the gel and stuff you use, it starts to coming down mid performance or whatever. So I just, you know, let me get to Savannah. Savannah, what are your thoughts on this kid and the policy and the situation?
Well, I already spoke on
you did.
On this issue as well, but I just wanted to push back a little bit. There are exceptions with the I'm sorry, Adele, with the wearing your hair natural. And I want to, because this is a topic that we discuss at my workplace, and that is being in the military. When you're in the military, there are certain hairstyles that you cannot wear, especially if you are in a position of seniority and if you're in uniform. You know, you can't be up there with the color weaves and the certain lengths that you cannot wear and certain styles that you cannot wear, especially if you're in some of the 3-letter agencies. So in the military, there is that is one exception that they do have hair regulations. But also, and most of us in this panel, D-Ray, like you and I wonder how did this become such a topic? You know, we grew up with the palm side with their hair looking like Journey and White Snake, you know, with that big old puffy and all that hairspray, and it was just, and I don't remember these topics of conversation with their hair being all wild and just matted and everything, and they didn't have these conversations. I'm just wondering how this just became a conversation over the last 10 years, where our children now have to defend their hair, what is rightfully theirs. It's their culture, it's who they are. And I know that's how I became so involved with the Crown Act, because, and this was before my grandbaby came to be, that I was wondering, why does, you know, a young Black or brown child have to defend who they are? It was just baffling to me, and I seen what Dove was doing, and I became a supporter of it. But I spoke on the subject.
Okay, thank you. Give me 1 second, Adele. I'll come back to you. And let me tell you this, Savannah. In nursing school, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Go ahead.
Question. Did I come? I want to make sure that I didn't come across as I was saying anything negative towards the way a Black woman wears her hair. I just want to make sure of that.
I think it touched a little bit of people where you said something about wig wearing, and that seems as if you're assimilating more when you want to wear a wig and straighten your hair or something like that. So that's the only reason why.
Actually, was that when you wear wigs and weaves, it's more Caucasian, which it is. There's no question about it. That's all I said to touch on that. I'm very careful with my words because I'm a Black woman and I wore wig.
But why do you feel, Adele, that doesn't make sense to me? Why do you feel that if you wear a wig or a weave, that's more Caucasian? I don't get that.
Because we don't grow hair like that. It's just logic. Go from a logical place.
What do you mean we don't grow hair like that?
No, they got Afro wigs, they got braid wigs.
just listen to what I'm saying and don't add anything to it. What I'm saying is our hair is different from theirs. When we perm our hair, it's straight. I'm not saying anything negative about it. I'm just saying what it is. There's a difference. I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem with it for myself. I've done it. I liked it when I did it. I was obsessed with braids, especially when I went on vacation too. But I'm saying where I am right now, this is what my choice is. And that's why I was being careful to ask you, because I don't want you to take this the wrong way. And I don't want you to assume that I'm saying something else, because I'm a Black woman. I know how much we have experienced, especially when it comes to our hair. Our hair is one of the number one income for especially other people, because we take care and we try to do as much with it, and we're not the one getting the profit from it. So I know the struggle and the issues that come around from this place. I don't want this to be an issue where you're saying that I'm saying something that I'm not. And that's why I wanted to
let me stop you, Adele. First of all, I was trying to clean it up for you. And I'm definitely not trying to. Well, give me a minute. Give me a minute. But the thing is, Adele, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I didn't stop you when you were speaking. Give me a minute. So I'm not making assumptions or trying to put words in your mouth. I'm reading the room. And so when I'm reading the room, I'm looking at the comments, and what I felt, I see in the comments that people are feeling that way. And so, but give me a minute, Adele. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. But you're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish my words, and I let you finish your words before I spoke again. So you got to let me finish my words. So I'm reading the room. I'm reading the room, and the room is reading as if, wearing a wig or perming your hair, it is more leading towards one culture than another. And I'm just saying that, and then your words out of your own mouth is that, oh, we don't naturally grow our hair like that. And I'm like, I'm like, what are you talking about? No, that's not true. There are many Black and brown people who naturally out of their scalp grow hair all the way down their back. Their hair grows straight, and their hair grows all different kinds of ways, just like other cultures. I'm not sure. So that's why I'm saying to you, I'm not connecting. So all I attempted to do, because I never like when people on the panel are misunderstood. So at the same time, which is not that easy, I'm listening to my panelists and I'm looking at the chat and I'm like, okay, whoa. We didn't want to go down this road. So that's why I said what I said. And when I said it, I always say before it, even when somebody, I'm not coming at you, but I'm going to put this out there so that people will have an understanding that, one, these are not particularly my views and what I'm thinking, and that I'm telling you, as a girl of color, I done wore my hair all kinds of ways, and I personally have no judgment towards anybody, regardless of how you wear your hair, because in addition to that, and yes, Robin does, out of her scalp. And in addition to that, I'm telling you that I know my braider for over 25 years, and she knows my entire family, and every day is getting better as the days go on. I do a little shaky shake like this by, not agreeing. I'm like, okay, the only reason I keep it, because we like to keep it 100 over here. One of the main reasons I do not have braids in my hair now is because the braids was literally snatching out the sides of my hair. And my stylist said, you are getting traction alopecia, because I would wear my hair up in a bun and I would take the braids and do like this and swing it around, but I don't want to go too far at the track here. So she said, you're yanking the follicles out your scalp. What you gonna do? And I was like, all right. I won't put the braids in my hair, I guess. But every day I talk to my sister, like, girl, I miss my braids. I'm not done yet, Adele. Please, just give me a moment, please. And so,
explain to you,
Robin, out
You're
of your
responding to
hair, I have the softest and curliest
Oh.
hair. Yes, I also have family members, okay, 100%, if you want to say Black, African American, whatever the case may be, okay, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call them, that naturally 100% their hair is straight, long, curly, or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. You're saying I'm putting words in your mouth, but I'm actually sitting here listening to the words that come out. And maybe you gotta go back, Adele, and I'm saying this respectfully. Maybe you gotta go back, cue it back up to the point and hear your own words, and then maybe you will understand why the chat is saying what they're saying in the chat, and why I said what I said. And then when you came out and said out of your own mouth again that we don't naturally grow our hair that way. That, I mean, come on, thank you. And
I know it's hard to hear. I know it's hard to hear when someone says what I said, but it's the truth. Soft black hair is different from straight white hair. It's just the facts. I have people in my families that has all kind of different texture of hair. Like I have lighter complexion. My dad has even lighter complexion. My mother has darker complexion, and we all have different texture hair. I have people who are half white, half black. I know all of those stuff. I'm not trying to clean up what I said. What I said was what I said, and I meant what I said. It's hard to hear it, but it's the truth. And whether we don't want to hear the truth or not, it's still the truth. I'm saying it straight because this is the place that we have issues. We have issues for it because we don't want to actually realize that it's part of the issue that keeps on going back and forth, because then we find a way to explain it away. You're trying to explain what I said, and I mean what I said. I don't need, like, I'm not saying it as a disrespect. I'm just saying I don't want what I said to be covered or to be nice up, because it's just the facts. Whether or not, this is why that little boy, his hair is a problem, because people think it's not okay for him to have his hair it's natural. Why is it that a person can wear a 10-inch long weave and swinging it all over the place, and then he can't wear his natural hair in his head, and it's a problem? It's just doesn't add up. And I'm not saying the person with a 10-inch long wig shouldn't be able to wear it. I'm just saying there's which one is more distracting. Those are the tough, important conversations we need to have, and I'm saying it with love. I'm not saying it's to be mean. I'm not saying it to be oppositional. I'm not saying for all of that. But what frustrates me is when I'm trying to say something, even when it's tough. It's not easy to say this. I don't want to insult anyone. I wouldn't even try to, because it's just not my thing. I love everybody. I'm just saying it's just the facts of the situation. And we need to be able to say what we believe. We're on this panel and we're saying our beliefs. Like, I don't need it to be shoved back down my throat, because, and I'm not, the way I'm talking, actually, it makes us feel like I have feelings, but I really don't. I'm just trying to get it out, because it's just, we don't have this conversation because we don't want to be insulting. But trust me, please, by the heart of God, I promise you, I'm not trying to be rude, and I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just trying to get out what I really feel. That's it. And you can have your own feelings as well. I just want you to hear what I'm saying. Sorry. I hope that's not come across as being heavy.
We heard you, Adele.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So let's move forward. Let me get into this next story, and I'm gonna kind of squeeze two in together, because I always swear in my head that these stories are not going to take the life that they take on, and they do. But I just want to show this one where the anchor, let me see if I could get to it. I just want to show her story, and then I want to move into the last story. So hold on, let me show this anchor story.
Wendy is going gray. In Canada, the fast food giant has changed the hair color on its red-headed logo in support of veteran news anchor Lisa LaFlamme, who says she lost her job after going gray during the pandemic.
I was blindsided,
and am still shocked and saddened by Bell Media's decision. At 58, I still thought I'd have a lot more time to tell more of the stories that impact our daily lives.
Parent company Bell Media says the narrative that Lisa's age, gender, or gray hair played into the decision is not the case, despite reports that an executive asked who approved the decision to, quote, let Lisa's hair go gray. With me now, CNN Chief Business Correspondent Christine Roman, CNN Business Correspondent Rahel Solomon, and CNN National Correspondent Erica Hill. So I kind of feel like I want to step back and not be part of it. People need to know there is a double standard in this business we have chosen. Anyone who says there isn't hasn't been paying attention here. So what do you see?
There's everything you know, how you perform, how you interview, how you are in the field, and how you look. And in this case, this is someone with a 35-year track record who just won a major Canadian Broadcasting Award back in April, who just most recently covered the papal apology for what happened to the children in that country. She has covered Iraq, Afghanistan, elections, Olympics. It goes on and on and on. Yet a business decision, not performance, but a business decision was why she was told that she would be leaving her career after 35 years. A business decision that apparently looks like the way she appears.
Yeah, the way she appears and or her age, right? The combination of the two. And you're right, there is a double standard in this business, and we know it. A man with gray hair, white hair, even a little bit of a belly is seen as having gravitas and being distinguished. Women can't do that. And look, we know that, right? We've signed up for this. And yet, I would hope that I get to 58, right? I'm 46 now, and yes, I do color my hair. And someday maybe I will go gray, and if I'm lucky, I will look as fabulous as Lisa LaFleur does.
Yeah, she looks good.
I'm not there yet, but I shouldn't have to be, right? And it shouldn't matter what your hair color is. Sadly, it does. And I wouldn't be surprised, too, if part of this was money, right? Oh, you make too much money. And yet, I bet she makes less than her male counterparts.
It's an interesting point. And also, we should
That's a
say
really
that
good
there
point.
has been so much public support for this anchor, both from companies like Dove, like Sports Illustrated, like Wendy's, as we pointed out, but also just in terms of the public. I mean, I think managers clearly need to read the room and get with the times, that people are tired of seeing cookie cutter images of what women are supposed to look like. And beyond just appearances, I think it's important to note that diversity impacts everyone and benefits everyone in a workplace, not just diversity in the traditional sense, although of course that helps, but diversity of thought, having different experiences, different perspectives. Research has shown that that leads to more innovative workplaces, that leads to prevents groupthink, that leads to more agile companies that are better prepared to deal with the problems of today. And I think we miss that when we just sort of minimize people in terms of how good they look. Although, to repeat the obvious, she looks fantastic.
It was pretty cool. Sports Illustrated it had Mae Musk on its cover recently. You know, that's Elon Musk's mom, and she has gray hair and looks fantastic. I mean, Sports Illustrated cover of a woman with gray hair in a swimsuit. I mean, so these companies are trying to tap into that idea that things have changed. It's not just the young, skinny, blonde 25-year-old who is what women relate to. Women relate to a lot of different body types and ages.
And women have more buying power now, too. I mean, there was a time not that long ago when a woman couldn't open a checking account. She couldn't have a credit card without her husband signing off on it. And yet now, right, this coveted demographic of 25 to 54 for TV advertisers and even beyond, they want to see, to your point, Rahel, we want to see ourselves reflected, and we're going to use our dollars in that way. So also these companies are not stupid.
Their voices on social media.
40 is a new 30, 50 is a new 40. Serena Williams last night, was she 41 years old? I'm just saying, like, it's all changing.
Can I tell you, it's a true story. Wasn't a supervisor, wasn't someone I worked for, but a few years ago, before I started going gray, naturally, it's happening pretty rapidly now. But I want to tell you, it was suggested to me that I should dye my hair gray. So that I had more gravitas, because just what you said there was a sense that for me as a dude, the gray hair would be better.
Yeah, you look too young.
You're still like the young 25-year-old boy on the bus.
Well, no, but exactly. It just shows you that there is a double standard in this business. And I don't know what happened in Canada. That we're not going to know the inside workings of that story, but there is.
And probably never will. But I will say it was a huge screw up by whoever made that decision, because the negative blowback and just how petty and short-sighted they look when you have all of these viewers who have come to her defense, and companies that are basically poking fun at maybe a bunch of suits in a back room are like, well, she doesn't break through for us anymore. Let's get rid of her. Like, it's just gross. And it's so 1980s.
Okay. So there you have just a whole nother flip side of an anchor who gone gray. They actually talked, and that kind of tied in Savannah because you talked about Dove and their movement. So look at Dove stepping in because this thing is not just we saw it happen to the young man who happened to be, of color at his school. But here she is, she's an anchor working. And this has impacted her where she went gray. Gray is another thing that kind of evolved and morphed into something because before it is being embraced the way it is now, yes, ageism, right? Before it was embraced as it is now, it wasn't embraced so much, right? I'm instead of me trying to squeeze in the last story that I had, I will save that story for another trending topics day. So I will go ahead and close out with this story. Thank God for Wendy's, thank God for Dub, thank God for the people who support doing the right thing. So E, what are your thoughts on this particular story and this situation with the anchor being let go, because of her hair color?
Well, Diva, I see what you did with the words there about this story because I think you know where I'm going, and I'm going to keep it under 60 seconds because I love you so much.
Right.
But I am so happy that so many big brands are coming out and supporting this woman and her gray hair. Because this is natural. If you're fortunate enough, you will go gray. If you're fortunate enough.
Come on now.
Ageism is real in this country, and the way Social Security is looking because of how much debt we have as a country, a lot of our elderly do have to work, sadly. But with my last 30 seconds, notice how the support for this white woman with gray hair, how much support she got, and how those brands, they went white. And they went gray. I'm sorry, they went gray. But we haven't seen that same support for that Black student in Texas. Why haven't Wendy's given their mascot the dreads or the braids to support the student in Texas? When is Dove going Black? What about the kids? We care about the kids so much in this country. I will let, in my opinion, go ahead.
Okay, in my opinion, your thoughts?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, who said you had to be old to have gray hair? Because my son is 22 and he's coming up with some gray hair. Now, let me tell you, I don't know what the purpose of it is, but here's the thing. Gray hair don't have an age, okay? And let me tell you something. I wholeheartedly support her. She should sue them because this should be against the law to fire somebody because they have gray hair. I would love to see somebody with gray hair telling me what's going on because they got more wisdom probably.
Thank you, in my opinion. Nikki, what are your thoughts?
I would like to amen, Miss, in my opinion. My bestie, who's 32, is a male. His whole head is gray. And not 32, he's 33. But I don't know. I guess on one hand, I do like that Wendy's doing that, but I don't want them to do that permanently. I don't want the little girl Wendy to be gray haired permanently, even though she technically would be gray right now. I like the red hair, because people don't respect red hair. People, just saying. Shout out to the people. But I like that that they're, I guess, trying to embrace change. I think change, unfortunately, takes a lot of time because people have to get comfortable with things they're not necessarily comfortable with. But I like it. I do agree with E. But the thing is about certain topics or certain situations getting the same amount of coverage, it just is very difficult, I feel like, for the media to be fair. So because again, it takes change for people. It takes a long time for people to change their minds about things that they don't like.
Right.
But I support Wendy's. I worked there for 2 years when I was 16. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you. Aunt Natty, what are your thoughts?
I agree with, in my opinion, my children's uncle was completely gray at the age of 17. How can you fire her for her gray hair? But when the male counterpart started, did you catch what he said? When he started going gray, they told him, go ahead and die gray. So what's the difference? Not only is it age discrimination, it's sexual discrimination, a gender discrimination.
Right.
She got a double lawsuit. Hit them where it hurt, baby. Hit them pockets. That's it. That's all.
Wayne, your thoughts?
Excuse me. The sad about this is that they're sending messages to the millennials, the Gen Z, the Gen X, or whatever, because like Opinion said, some young people go gray early.
Yeah.
So you're telling those that may aspire to be, want to be a news commentator or something, well, you've grown, you've grayed early, so you don't qualify for the job. So if they're not accepting it, this woman who's of age and has gray hair, they certainly not going to accept it from some young person who has naturally gray hair. Are they going to say, well, you can get this job, you look like you're right for it, but you have to dye your hair.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a natural thing. And for some people, gray starts early.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like whole hair to gray early.
Mm-hmm.
So what about those? They don't qualify to be in that position? That's the sad part about it. So that's why I go with it.
Yeah, yeah. Adele, your thoughts?
You on mute.
You're on mute. You want me to come back? Okay. Savannah, your thoughts?
Well, first I would like to thank our sexy host, the gray hair diva, for a great evening, a lively evening at that. I'm gonna need some a drink after today.
I'm gonna strike my tea. I'm gonna strike my tea.
But really quickly, Dove is the co-founder of the Crown Act. So please look it up. So they did start this in 2019, and they are the leading efforts behind the research. And they go, they start their efforts as early as the age of 5, especially for young Black girls, to see how they are discriminated with their hair texture in schools. So I will provide as much information as I can for anyone who's interested. And again, kudos to Dove for all their efforts that they're doing, not just with gray hair, and they're also doing with body positivity, diversity and inclusion, and just also with spending less and less time on our devices and more time with families. So they're leading a very strong campaign that started in 2022. So definitely check them out. But thank you, Diva, for a great Saturday evening.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Go ahead, Adele. You ready? No? Okay. Emmanuel, go ahead.
Well, first of all, shout out to Wendy's for being a real G. They're cool for
come
that.
on now. Yeah.
Look, I used to listen. I remember Joy Behar used to say, "If I go gray, I'm gonna lose my job on The View," and I always thought she was being funny, or it wasn't true, because I like to think that, unlike other countries in like Latin America or whatever, the U.S. doesn't discriminate age in the job. So it's really sad to see that this happened to this lady, and it's like going gray. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. It's natural. What like how many, like, come on now. So yeah, that's really unfortunate, but I'm glad that people are coming behind her and supporting her. And yeah, I mean, my dad is 50 and he's starting to get like little gray spots in his beard, and me and my sister always tease him like, "Dad, dye your beard so it can be all black." But he's like, "No, I'm gonna go natural, and that's how it is. That's how it is." But then again, you have people like my grandma, who is like 83 and she dyes her hair. So it's just whatever you want. Like, it's your preference. It really shouldn't bother anyone else. It's your hair, so do what you want with your hair.
Right. I agree with you. Adele, I see you off of mute. Go ahead.
I finally got it. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Like several people said, I had a gray patch in my head from I was in high school, and it never bothered me. It never really bothered me. So I had right now I have a love-hate relationship with grays, because the amount of peer pressure I got when I actually became older and started graying, and people like, especially my brother who's 1 year younger than me, because he didn't want to look old. He keeps on telling me go dye my hair because it makes him look old. So it's crazy. But regarding her, obviously this is horribly wrong. She's from Canada, but I have never heard about the story. But she has a lawsuit on her hands, and this is it's sad because so many other places they look at elderly people as the bringer of wisdom. And the idea is to learn from them and their lifelong.
Did we lose her?
She
looks like it.
Yeah, I think we lost her. I don't know if maybe her phone died or something like that. But Denzel, you're in the building. We actually are closing out. But what would you like to say?
No, I just wanted to stop by and say hello, because I missed the show, so I just wanted to say hello.
Well,
What up, Denzel?
We're glad you stopped by and say hello, right? So
Yeah.
happy Saturday, and I hope all have an amazing weekend. Thank you guys.
I love to seeing you in. Hey, Denzel.
Hey, Diva.
Hey.
Everybody.
Listen, thank you guys for hanging in with this conversation. And sometimes we have to have tough conversations, okay? So I'm glad you're all hung in there. As usual, I didn't get to the last story. In my opinion, don't say a word, because you tell me every single time, and I get off by adding 22 stories to the document, and I still add them, because really in my head, you did tell me.
You want overtime again?
I always be like, oh, it ain't gonna take that long. Hey, Roya.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Auntie.
You be thinking your
What
panels
up, Roya?
you think your panels don't have an opinion, and you got the most opinionated panel it is.
I guess that's what I be thinking. Well, go ahead, Roya. What do you want to say before we close out?
Oh, I don't know what y'all talk about.
Oh, you lay on her.
Don't feel bad, Roya. Don't feel bad.
Trying to fire all the people with gray hair.
Oh my God. Listen, Roya, we love you being here. Somebody's trying to get in the panel, but we done. Come on now, show that hair. Show that hair.
Look at that hair. Look at that hair. All right now.
Listen. And he trying to be sexy over there too. We see you, Roya. We see you.
I'm changing clothes. I have an event to go to. I just got home, so I'm trying to change my clothes real quick.
Cannot.
Looking like a little cutie pie.
But what was y'all talking about? What was y'all talking about? Just let me throw a little.
We were talking about Beyonce.
Don't do that.
So listen, guys,
we're gonna bring it up. Let's talk about the great job that she is doing in Houston with the Knowles. Kelly Roland Homes.
Listen, I'm from Houston, sir. I know.
Homeless people.
I live in Houston.
We love it. We support it.
She can give her little brother a home now.
Here
she can give her little brother
Talk
a
to the
home.
people, E. Talk to the people.
What happened? What happened?
Listen,
What happened?
guys. No,
we ready to get it started already.
No,
Yep.
thank you, Robin. Listen, Robin.
No overtime.
Robin is my unofficial manager, and she said it's a wrap. Okay,
It's time to go.
It's time to go.
But what about what the conductor said? He came on here half naked. What's happening?
Not half naked. Listen, guys, I cannot with y'all. I love y'all. Good night. Goodbye. Have an amazing weekend. Thank you for stopping by and coming through here with me, y'all. And listen, if y'all didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. We got channel creators on here. In my opinion, is one of them. Roy is another one. Go over there, like and subscribe, people. We love y'all. Good night. Goodbye. See ya.
Love you, Diva. Love y'all. You have a blessed weekend.
Make sure your